What's up guys, we're back. It's day 2 now. Last night we called it quits to take some naps and get some breakfast started for today. And now today is a big project of these reinforcement plates. So the point of these reinforcement plates is to go where the subframe attaches to the car. So one will go here, one will go here. There's 2 small ones that go up here, and then 1 plate for each side here. So for example, this guy will go this way.
Bend.
These edges will crease around and bend around the subframe to help give reinforcement, clean everything up, weld it, be good to go. That's at least the plan anyway. So now that we kind of figure out which piece goes where, we need to prep each of the spots by cleaning all the dirt out of the way and then grinding down kind of like the top layer and get just fresh exposed metal. So it's easier for us to weld. Clean welds, very important.
What you cleaning?
Spots for the
Dirty.
the plates to go.
This is the longest steering column I've ever seen.
Is that taking the paint off?
No, I'm just trying to get like a lot of the dirt kind of off first and then go in with something that'll take the paint off.
You want something that'll debug?
Yeah. How'd you know that? That's what I was thinking.
A handy.
Hill's just here with answers. Look at all that dirt. It's gonna be the most fun part. I'm so excited for this part.
Wait.
What?
Clark Kent.
Do I look like Clark Kent? Comment down, yes or no. I don't think so, but I can't see myself right now.
It's Clark Kent glasses for sure.
Oh. That's right in the face. Look at all that dirt too.
Look at the dirt things, just dirting around, dirtiness. Now it's on the face. I was just thinking, this is the first time I've seen you work on a car without a bunch of dirt and stuff on your face, and then look what happens. Look what happens.
It took 5 minutes. You already know it don't last long. So I wouldn't be surprised if this episode I die. This is what they gave me to clean up the bottom of my car. It's literally called a crud thud. Just like, look at these. These are gonna tear up anything in their way, whether it's my face, my hands, or any dirt that would be in my car. I need an adult to use this. Can you be my adult?
I'll be your adult. I do adult things.
Terrified of this. Just a little bit scared.
Well, right here, that's what I was gonna say.
Dr. Doolittle's in the house. Claw machine. Now it's gonna start off by cleaning up this piece. Looks like the guys here are doing a little bit of a dyno test on a Subaru. We go take a peek. What's she pushing?
About 290.
290? Sounds good. I've never seen one of the standalone. I've only seen the roller dynos. That's cool. Little WRX pushing 290 right now. That's cute. That's nice. But I have to remark it a little bit. But
I mean, you're gonna take all the way out and around here anyway. So it's going to take off like a 1/4 inch past that.
Secret to keep your R's up. Get the RPM cooking, and
It's much easier to touch it and it not like rip back on you.
Right.
I found when I was doing that side, like
Keep
the
it-
lower RPMs that I had, the more that it just wanted to grab
right.
and grip and
If
walk.
you're high RPM, it just fucking takes your shit off. So like wind it up and just
send it.
Yeah, send it. It's a send it situation. Treat it like a 2-stroke.
okay.
Nobody's ripping, man.
Well, no, I don't want to.
Hit me in the
sorry
face.
to me?
We're not scared.
Say sorry to me. Say get out.
Get it. Get it. Hey. There you go. There you go. You're doing it. Beautiful. You're using the force.
I'm sure you can turn this?
Yeah.
Huh? What? I was just complaining how I wish I had it on the front.
You have your favorite tool?
Basically.
Hey, you like that your suspension is suspended?
The reason why BMWs smell like crayons is because their sound deadening smells like crayons. Like legit, did they just melt crayons and put it into BMWs for sound deadening?
That's what it was.
It feels like it too. Like,
It's like a waxy compound.
which you mean crayons?
Terrible.
Crayons.
Yeah.
So to weld in the car, we have to remove the seats and the trunk interior to make sure none of it's gonna catch on fire while we're welding in there. I've already started on the trunk, but then Matt and Chris, we're getting everything out of the back. Look at that. All my sound deadening just falls out. Guess who doesn't need to use, what is it, frozen ice? Cold ice? Dry ice? To get rid of it. It literally just like melts. And,
Did you
like,
say frozen ice?
Shush. I'm trying.
As opposed to melted ice?
Yeah, I'm not good
They
with
just
my
call
words.
that water.
No. Sound ending, bye-bye. Alright, so we basically have like the whole rear interior out now. Look how empty it is. It echoes in here. Hit that boot. So we have the BMW back up in the air, and we have all of our plates on the car. Everything's cleaned up, ready to be welded. As you can see, we put some bolts to hold the plates on while I get them tacked and welded in. We got 2 big plates in the back and then 4 smaller ones up front. It's been a hot minute since I've used the Miller, but I'm pretty sure this will go super smooth with the amount of prep and precision that we executed in this process. All right, so as y'all know, it's time to weld. It's been a minute since we welded. I've be excited and a little nervous. Just hope that it goes well. I don't feel like taking this out, redoing it. Preparation and safety.
Getting it done, you're getting dirty.
Always. Almost done with the first plate. And we moved the car down so I could get up here better because I just couldn't quite see.
Yep. Want me to show you a trick?
Yes.
So a lot of times what I'll do on this real thin metal is I, rather than like hold one continuous and try and like lock the torch, do you mind if I start one over here?
Yeah, go for it.
What I will do is I'm gonna try and brace so that like I have really good control. I won't spark it now, so you can put. But basically, what I'll do is I'll do like a real small spot weld. Then I'll move about an 1/8 inch, do another small one, another 1/8 inch, another small one, another 1/8 inch, and what you end up with is what looks more like a TIG weld. Like you see the little puddles.
I tried doing that here. I just have a hard time seeing it up here. but yeah, like with the thin metal, I do it attack.
Yeah, see, like you got like some little puddles going there. So I'll try to do that for like a good long, like inch wide stretch. So if I'm gonna go ahead and actually make sparks here. So you can move really fast, but if you stack them with really tight frequency,
yeah,
then you can kind of get that more of like a puddled look, like you would have with a TIG weld. The faster you go, you get a large heat affected zone,
yep.
which means the weld puddle sinks down into the root material more.
Yep.
Versus if you do like little stretches and then stop and let it cool, then do another little stretch and stop and let it cool. So see how the filler metal like really sank in to both sides? So you actually have a stronger weld by basically getting the root material up to the full temperature. So that's kind of like running a lot more amperage. Getting the material hot means it doesn't require as much amperage to get the puddle to fully fuse. I would try doing that. Okay. One, there's a couple of advantages to it. You could run a really good sized weld puddle without it burning through by doing that start-stop, because you never get the root material hot enough that it just wants to blow through. So like if you're walking this and like trying to do a one big contiguous weld, I'm sure you're seeing like by the time you get to the end of the puddle, you have like a big cherry red ember. Yeah. You can keep the heat out of the chassis by doing that like little bursting, so it'll be much less likely to like warp and distort when you weld it. Right. And I think aesthetically, you'll be able to get more of what you're looking for in terms of a prettier weld than doing like inch stretches and stopping, inch stretches and stopping. I think the hardest part about doing those inch stretches is to get like, everyone wants the puddle consistency to be like looking the same from the start to the end. Yeah. And that requires that like you're robot consistent with how you're moving the torch, but that's much easier to achieve if you're burst, move, burst, move, burst, move, burst, move. Because you're not trying to do continuous movement, you're actually moving a small increment every time you pull the trigger. Okay. We can grab some like straps if you want to practice doing that real quick. What I've found when I do chassis work with this, how thin this material is, I almost always use that strategy. Okay.
I'll definitely give that a whirl.
Yeah, I mean, try it out, see if you like it. I think it's easier to do for the kind of welding you're doing right now.
Yeah.
If you were welding like I-beams together, you'd have to do it the way you're doing it. Right.
Yeah. Like blasted. Okay, yeah, I guess I'll try that over here since there's this really difficult angle.
I do acknowledge, like, the hardest part of doing what you're doing is the areas you can't see well or you can't get the torch in too well. Like, there's no easy way to do that. Okay? There's just no easy way to do that. It's just hard no matter what you do. And like, you know, you talk to guys who've been doing it a long time, they're like welding mirrors and all kinds of stuff, but it's not easy. It just takes lots of practice.
Thank you. Awesome. I appreciate it. Okay, so after about an hour of straight welding from Gabby, I finally finished welding these plates in so they're secure, not going anywhere. And now I'm gonna take a break and Matt is gonna start grinding it down so that the subframe will fit smoothly and perfectly back on the car without any bumps or whatever. And I don't know, I'm exhausted. I'm gonna take a break.
An hour of straight welding.
Was
I
it?
think you didn't mention the backwards welding and then the upside down welding.
Oh yeah.
It was a little more than just straight welding.
Yeah. I did trick welding.
Trick them if you got them.
Freestyle welding.
Freestyle. Freestyle.
Freestyle.
many PSI is that?
You gonna do it again?
Come on, it's gonna be right here.
How many PSI do you want?
34? The grip bar, dude. You stop with that.
Fucking feel about this here. Huh? I need this.
So then. So what year is this? Like, when did they start doing the?
Direct injection started on the S54, I believe. Dirk knows all the details on the car specific, but see all that gunk in there?
Oh my goodness, that's disgusting.
Yeah, so I can show you what that's supposed to look like on a nice clean engine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you get this like layer after layer of deposition until you almost have no pores. So the air doesn't flow into the cylinder anymore because you got all this carbon in the way of the air getting past the valve and into the cylinder. In the long run, it can stop the valve from opening and closing, so you get misfires, you get loss of power, you get loss of fuel economy.
Yeah,
you get,
all of the bad
emissions.
things.
Yeah.
Does it happen like regularly, like every 30,000 miles you have to clean it, or?
On the direct injected cars, because the fuel doesn't clean it, you have to actually clean it regularly. So on a port injected engine, this is generally what you'll see.
Yeah.
And you can see there's a little bit of carbon there.
But it's not like caked on nearly
like
as bad.
What you just saw. Yeah.
Yeah. And that on that BMW happens how regularly?
Yeah, so looking in there, you can see like you can still see the valves. There's not that giant cake in there.
Yeah, it's still like pretty sure it's like brand new compared to the other one.
Yeah. So most of the manufacturers who make direct injected vehicles recommend that intake valve cleaning service roughly every 60,000 miles.
Damn.
Depending on how much oil goes back to the intake manifold, like a car that has a lot of blow-by already, then you have to do it more frequently. So some of these BMWs are actually seeing heavy deposition at 15, 20, 30,000 miles, so you have to do it a lot.
And you take off basically the intake to get to the...
You take off the intake manifold,
yeah,
and then we actually use a blasting media. So pieces of walnut shell are pushed out at very high pressure, hit the carbon, break the carbon off of the valve, and then we vacuum the whole time. We're actually spraying that walnut media. You do it with the valve closed, so none of it gets in the actual combustion chamber, but you're basically spraying that walnut in at high speed, and then vacuuming it out at the same time. And as those shells are bouncing off those carbon flakes, it's just slowly breaking those down.
So it's almost like sandblasting, but with walnuts.
It's sandblasting, but with something that's so much softer, it doesn't do surface damage to the parts.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if you did that with glass bead, you know, it would leave little impressions in the surface of the valves and the intake manifold and everything else. Plus, that stuff is so abrasive that if you ended up with that in your combustion chamber, it would destroy the engine.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts. And when did they start doing it? Like the newer ones? So like
Anything
S5.
that's direct injected is really susceptible to it. So, you know, somewhere around like 2012, 2013, that started to come into favor. There are some engines that were using it before that. Exactly, you know, the year BMW started. I know Dirk knows, but I don't remember.
Wow. That sucks. That's not fun to deal with.
No.
But very interesting.
But it makes a huge difference. Like, you drive the car into the bay, and you don't really notice the loss of power because it happens really gradually for a long period of time. But when we give the cars back, people are like, oh my God, this thing's really fast.
It's like a brand new car.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was basically me. Like, my spark plugs and coil packs were so bad, and I just redid them. I'm like, oh, it's so much smoother. Like, it's basically the same thing from what I'm understanding.
Yep.
Like a loss of air and oil and just all like in the way.
Yep. all about how much bang you can get. If you're not getting good spark, or you're not getting enough airflow, you're not getting enough fuel, you don't get the big bang.
Yeah. What is it? Suck, bang, blow? That's it? Yeah.
Suck, squeeze, bang, blow.
I was missing just one. We're just finishing up the welds in here. We did all the reinforcement plates. We had to do a little something from the top.
Yep.
And then once that's done and cooled down, we'll spray it and then throw in that subframe.
Yeah, he's doing good.
So I had to go do a little interview, and while I was gone, magically, y'all got that subframe in. Look at how, wow.
Wow.
It's so clean looking under here with everything new. Well, not everything new, but brand new bushings look nice, and these reinforcement plates. It really lightens up the underneath side. Very, very excited. Very excited. So now we're gonna go ahead and finish her up and hopefully get the car on the road by today. This is where we're at. Subframe is up, looking good. We just put our sway bar in. We're starting to torque down all of the bushings, getting the struts back in, making sure everything is done right the first time. We were rushing at first, but now we need to like take a step back, make sure everything is in the right way, torqued down to spec, and being put back together correctly, like in the right order of operations. So I'm gonna make sure this brace is put in right. All the subframe bushings are torqued. Sway bar is good. And we need to do our emergency brake lines and reinstall our other brake lines. Yeah, I guess brake lines are the next thing. But slowly but surely, she's coming together nicely. So while I'm putting the trunk and interior pieces, battery all back together now, Chris is test fitting the new wheels. Oh, they look so nice. Look at that.
Meaty. Super meaty.
You can tell she is not a vegetarian.
Meteor.
It looks so good. The BMW is gonna look so good after this. That poke. Oh my goodness.
The fender might need a little bit of
No, maybe.
Maybe.
It looks so good. Oh my god. It looks so good now that it's on the car. I'm freaking out a little bit.
You haven't fixed it at all?
So we officially have full interior again here and in the trunk. We're so close, guys. We need to bleed the brakes on here because we flushed the brake fluid as we disconnected the line and the fluid was just whack. And we have our exhaust, a few more pieces underneath, and then she's good to go. We might end up having to roll the fenders here because these are so big and meaty, but come on, they just look so good, so good. Right? You don't even know. Anyways, so we're doing the final steps finally on the BMW. We're doing a brake flush. We're using our Motul DOT 5.1. And then we should be good to go. Here we go, let's see if they fit. Is it? Yeah, look at that! Yay! I'm so excited right now! Look at how fabulous they are! So we just took the BMW on a test drive and got her aligned so that she's straight, she is perfect, she feels so good and planted on the road. I'm so beyond happy with all the new bushings and the reinforcements. Yes, I'm a little chilly, so I'm wearing my welding jacket. You know, something's better than nothing. I love the way it feels. I love the way it drives. It's not so sloppy in the rear anymore. It's nice, it's stiff, and it just feels so much better. Like having all my bushings done, it just so much better. And then the new wheels too. Like I just feel like I have a bigger footprint, and they look mint. Like look at how nice and meaty these guys are. I was a little bit worried that they wouldn't fit, and we would have to do something with the fenders. Apparently my fenders are already rolled too, by the way, so that's very nice. They fit perfectly. Come on. How much better can you get? 10 out of 10. Loving my new BF Goodrich tires. They fit perfect, and I'm really excited to run these at the next event. The treadwear is a 320, so it's perfect for this horsepower and for what I'm doing on my car right now. Ready for the next event. New bushings, new subframe reinforcement plates, new wheels and tires. Who dis car? Just looking like a boss. Yeah, it's just got like a nice stance, meaty. Looks like a track car. So good. So freaking good. So I will say, when driving the car, it smells like crap in here because of all of the welds. It just smells like burning, and welding has been going on in this car, which it has. So hopefully that will go away sooner than later. And that's the only thing that I don't really like about it, but I'm so happy to know that it's reinforced and I will not have any cracks in my subframe. And I was really lucky that I didn't. Like, this car has almost 200,000 miles on it and had no cracks or any signs of cracking on my subframe. So lucky, lucky girl. But I'm gonna go ahead and close out this video here. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in to another video of mine. Thank you again, Agile Auto Performance, for allowing me space and time and people here to help me when I need it. I appreciate it so, so much. If you guys want to check them out, go ahead, link down below for their Facebook, their website, everything you need to know. Go ahead and check them out. Show them some love, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys are new here. Peace.